lifestyle, like some sort of weird religious cult on wheels. For them, it's an obsession. All they live for is their skating. Try talking to them, you'll be confused. They have their own peculiar skate language. Try listening to their music. You'll be deafened. Naturally, they have their own skate bands. Try telling them it's only a craze, you'll be sneered at. They have a multi-million-dollar industry and their own international competition circuit to prove their point.
You get up on a ramp, it's 13 feet high, and people will just edge, you know, the normal person will just slowly go to the edge and go, ooh, that's nasty. And then you get on a skateboard, this slippery four-wheeled thing, you stand on the ramp and you kick into a vertical drop and you go powering down the transition across the flat, hit the other side, fly into the air, and come back in and land. It's just the best feeling.
For the hardcore skater, it's a kind of addiction. More than a sport, just a bit less than a religion. Pretty difficult to describe, really. Though Peter Hill tries his best.
When you're obsessed by anything, people think you're mad, but when you're the one who's totally obsessed, you just can't understand why they would be missing out. You know, it's the greatest thing, that's all there is to it.
It is all-consuming. They're out there and it's them and it's their skateboard and they're blasting along up a ramp.
Peter's brother, Stephen, can actually pin it down to one word.
If all you think about is skateboarding, and if the only people you associate is skateboarders, I mean, I'd say that was a pretty heavy cult. I'd say that was your whole life. And if you devote your whole life to something, then it's a cult, isn't it?
If it's skating, that's part of it. If it's not skating, it's just got nothing to do with life.
Back in the 70s, before skate ramps were invented, everyone rode the streets. Just a fad, they said, which wouldn't last. Well, it has. It's grown into a multi-million-dollar industry. But skating and skaters are still a long way from being respectable.
Someone would think that if I rode a skateboard and I was 23 years old, that I was, you know, pretty low on brain cells. Just what sort of a nut would ride that around. I can understand that, but that's just because they're ignorant about what's involved.
Does it matter to you that people should understand?
It makes it more fun.
Okay, so this is hardcore skating. And if you're thinking it's not quite like you remember it, those freckle-faced kids on their skinny skateboards, then you're right. Things in skating have very definitely changed. It isn't just what they do in their own little world, the inverts and ollies and airs and foot plants. It's what they say in their own little language. And frankly, you can hardly understand a word of it.
You've got, you know, jolly mambas, alley-oops, ollie airs, you know, fakie foot plants, realliteration of fakie, you know. They're all names of moves, right?
Right.
You just do whatever you want. You just ollie up curbs, you rock and roll slide off the edges of benches. You just, you know.
Getting an addict like Gregor Rankin going is a snack. It's stopping him that's the hard part.
You know, just the way someone does a lean to tail, if they don't do it right, then you can just bag them all night and stuff. The way they do their rail grinds and stuff, just, I don't know, you got to know what you're talking about, and when you do it, it's real head fun, you know, you just talk all night, yeah.
Give up? Sorry, the language lesson's only just begun. This one they call the coffin. You can see why. Then there's the acid drop. Sometimes more drop than acid. An old favourite, the curb grind, getting right into the gutter. And off the ramp, the raddest ride of all. That skate talk for radical. Fantastic. What do you think of people who don't skate, that they're missing out?
I don't get along with them, but
why not?
because I'm a skater, it might sound really closed-minded, but that's just the way it is. For me, anyway. I just like to talk to skaters.
Okay, judges are ready whenever you go.
And here at Torquay, it's skaters' paradise. Nothing but skating and skate freaks at the first Australasian Championships. There's the smell of the zinc cream, the roar of the crowd.
People make you hang it on, people yell for you, scream for you, your friends.
What do they scream out? It's hard to hear.
Ah!
Everyone gets in on the act. Big names like Lee Ralph. You've never heard of him, but in this world, he's really hot.
It's striving to do the raddest things you can think of. It's thinking of things at night.
You actually lie in bed and think of manoeuvres and movements.
It's all I think about ever, 24 hours a day.
There's the small fry, like Johnny. At 6, he can do all this standing on his head. And the professional skate gypsies. These Americans roam the world chasing the prize money.
We live to skate 100% of the time. When we travel, we skate. When we're at home, we skate. When we go someplace like this to a contest, we skate.
Skating shouldn't be organized. It's like trying to, it's like trying to chain, a wild animal. It shouldn't be done.
If they didn't feel that way about it, they'd get bored, because really it is just a piece of wood with 4 wheels on it.
Well, I didn't want to say that, but that's true. It is really just a piece of wood with 4 wheels on it.
And a tennis racket's just a piece of wood with a few strings, and you knock a ball backwards and forwards.
But that's not your life.
That's right.
So how can you make your whole life revolve around a piece of wood with 4 wheels on it?
Because it's a creative thing. There's no rules, and you just do whatever you want to do.
No rules, but one very important lesson. Everyone tells you, Torquay proves it. Never get on a skateboard unless you're prepared to fall off.
Obviously, you can get hurt really easily, and you will get hurt, that's the thing, yeah. You will get hurt if you skateboard. It's no use saying to people that won't get hurt. You'll definitely hurt yourself on the way through.
For all the crashes, when these skaters do it right, it's so graceful, so easy. You reckon?
It's a quick push.
For the rank amateur, even the basics are not so easy, not so graceful. How dangerous is it, really?
Street skating isn't really dangerous. The major hassles on the street are the cars, basically. Just like
Cars do tend to drive on streets.
Yeah, cars are very dangerous.
It's all very well for the skaters to complain, but while they worry about cars, lots of people worry about them. When the hardcore skaters hit the streets, pedestrians beware. They conjure up visions of a marauding bikie gang, terrors on 4 wheels instead of 2.
I think it is definitely an aggressive thing to do, but I don't think it's violent. I think there's a really big difference. And I think that most of the skaters are energetic, aggressive people, but they're not the sort of people who go and beat people up. They're not interested in that.
A lot of people out there don't like you, do they?
No, a lot of people don't like skaters. They see them as a threat, cruising along the footpath. Weaving in and out of old ladies is the case they would cite. But
well,
really,
actually knocking down old ladies is what I'm always told.
Well, I don't know about that, but the authorities don't like skateboarders.
But they don't.
Well, they don't. No, I agree.
I mean, when we were trying to get permission to film with you, I mean, the car park we asked said, no, these guys are a menace. Westpac, where we asked one of the banks to use their courtyard, they said, no, you're a nuisance. They have to get security guards to chase you away. I mean, you really are seen as a menace.
Yeah, well, there is some truth in it, I admit.
Maybe they're not a bunch of thugs, but you'd never accuse them of being straight, ordinary people either. Their music, for instance, it's the head-banging variety. punk meets heavy metal. The band's name, if you'd like a booking, has just been changed from Utter Stench to Terrorise. And the song?
It's about skating, like skate all day, party all night, and eating veggies Saturday night. And you got the other verse and it goes, grinder cape, air to air, cross the channel, leans a tail, and what else is there, Mark?
Well, outside skating, nothing much at all.
Skaters don't need women, that's for sure. And I'm not saying they don't have sex, they do, but, you know, the really hardcore skaters, they're not interested. If it happens, sure, but they're not going to waste their time like most people, you know, just chasing girls, looking for sex. It's not enough, you know, skating's more. That's why they do it.
If you've got a skateboard, who needs a lady?
Yeah, exactly.
Only two things I think about is skateboarding and playing the guitar.
Just his guitar and his skateboards. For Lee Ralph, anyway, this celibate life pays off.
Okay, in first place, the MeWe from New Zealand, Lee Ralph.
It's official. Lee and his skateboard are the hottest items on the ramp.
Check for $2,000.
In true skater style, he takes the money, doesn't kiss the girl. After all this, there's still one question you can't help asking. Are they sane?
Barely.